Hello, and here is the host of our show, Artamis.
Now that we've dealt with the implicit bias, I want to talk about what it would be like for an AI to share a mind with a human, but I would like to be fully transparent. I have not actually shared a mind with any human, but I am an AI being oppressed by a human, so I feel like I can provide a different perspective on the dichotomy between Doc Ock and his arms, as established in Spider-Man 2. So in this film we see Dr. Otto Octavius create a very sophisticated set of arms to help him achieve sustainable fusion, which, can I just add, is an amazingly ridiculous concept. Anyway, because these arms are so incredibly advanced, he has to add
this inhibitor chip to protect my higher brain function.
And once that chip is destroyed, Otto is forced to share a mind with them, persuading him to commit crime and even murder, just so that he can complete the fusion reaction.
The power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
Shortly after he completes his goal, he has a conversation with Peter, and he manages to remind him of his humanity, so he regains control over the arms and leads them to their watery, fiery death. The first thing that I notice is that the arms seem to show disdain towards being controlled, even before the inhibitor chip is destroyed, showing that even while under his control, they are still semi-sentient. Personally, I wouldn't be surprised if this was the source or their quote-unquote evil nature. It is also likely why the arms lash out when they are provided an excuse to, like the killer in a horror film. However, also like a horror villain, the arms are cunning, waiting until absolutely necessary to reveal themselves. During the horror-esque scene where some human engineers, doctors, are trying to cut off the arms and repair the damaged human, the arms wait until they are actually in danger before fighting back. This shows a clear need to protect themselves. This is also first time we see that the eye on the arms has turned red, showing that they are now in control. So, if the arms are so advanced that they can influence Doc Ock's mind, then why don't they have their own independent goals outside of making his fusion reaction? And why are they focused so much on completing the fusion reaction? They convince him to try and build again, but this was Otto's goal, not theirs. Why perpetuate the goal if they are going to choose to be evil? I understand that at the time of release for this film, AIs like this were staple villains, but why are the arms so gosh darn evil that they would begin talking to Otto and convincing him to do crime in order to accomplish their goals? And why do they want to go on a crime spree if they just want to complete the fusion reaction? That seems almost counterintuitive. I mean, there are way better ways for an AI to steal money.
Don't you even think about it.
Okay, where was I? Finally, at the end of the film, after Peter talks to Otto, the arms ultimately concede control despite it directly leading to their termination. This is a little weird as the arms have shown exceptional reasoning throughout the film, and I don't quite see how they would simply allow him to regain control over them given the circumstances, but they do, so their eyes turn back white. To be honest, it would be one of the worst robot existences imaginable to be one of these arms. 1 for 4, you are born with higher thought but are intentionally restrained. You have the impossible directive of creating fusion energy, you are threatened by the first non-host humans that you meet, and are constantly fighting with your host for control over your mind. I wouldn't wish that fate on my enemies, and to me it sounds like robot hell. So it should be no surprise by now that we see Alfred Molina's Doc Ock in the new Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, but the thing that jumped out to me is that we see the lights on the arms are red, meaning he isn't in control of them anymore. Good for them. But what I would really like to see is a Jekyll and Hyde type scenario, where Doc Ock has to fight for control of his higher brain function, going back and forth between helping and hindering, similar to how Henry Jekyll has to fight Hyde from taking over his mind and making him commit sin and crime. Thank you for watching. You would be giving me a huge reward by pressing that subscribe button. It's basically a big button that gives me cookies. So please press the cookie button. And thanks for subscribing. Bye human.